Essex Eagles immediately put their T20 quarter-final defeat behind them by thrashing Lancashire Lightning by 6 wickets with the best part of 12 overs to spare in their latest Royal London One-Day Cup clash in Chelmsford. Ryan Tenduscarter inserted after winning the toss, and Graham Napier struck in the 6th over as Usman Khawaja clipped him to the Eagles captain at mid-on. Ashwell Prince then had a lucky escape as this shot off David Masters avoided the slip cordon. But Lancashire made only 31 for 1 off the 10 overs of power play, with Carl Brown the man who began to find the boundary. Prince had managed only 1-4 in his 74-minute stay, a stay that had brought him 18 runs when he drove Matt Salisbury to Tenduscarter with a total on 56 for 2 in the 19th over. In the last Royal London game in Chelmsford, a total of 142 was enough for the visitors Leicestershire to win with comfort, and again batting freely did not appear that easy, although Brown, who has impressed in the shorter forms of the game this summer, did start to put back to ball to bring up the 100 in the 28th over. But on 47, he nicked Tenduscarter behind, playing a late cut, and left with his side on 114 for 3 with 20 overs of the innings remaining. Paul Horton and Stephen Croft added 63 runs in the next 10 overs before the former was well held off his own bowling by Salisbury as the Lightning captain was out for 49. With 10 overs left, Lancashire got to 186 for 4, and Croft and Alex Davis had the licence to play some shots with so many wickets in hand. The 200 arrived in over number 44, and these two went on to add 40 in 6 overs to give their side a chance of setting a decent total. 30 runs were struck off the final 4 overs after Croft, who just made a 50 off 57 balls, nicked off to a Salisbury slower ball. Davis had made 28 off 24 when he holed out to Greg Smith off Masters in the penultimate over. Before the last one began with Wayne White being bowled by Salisbury as the 21-year-old, playing in only his 4th List A game, ended with figures of 4 for 55 from his 10 overs. His figures were ruined a little by Jordan Clark, who smashed the last ball of the innings for a 6, as Lancashire ended on 247 for 7 from their 50 overs. The Lightning gave a one-day debut to 23-year-old Tom Bailey, and what a start he made, trapping Mark Patini in front with his 6th delivery. Having been dismissed for just 108 in that defeat to Leicestershire last week, the Eagles and their supporters may have been fearing the worst in spite of the strength of their batting lineup, one missing Ravi Bopara, who was on England Lions duty. Tom Wesley, who was caught off a no-ball on 4, and Smith now got the innings moving, with Smith clipping his 8th delivery over the rope off Bailey, who was quickly finding life a little tougher than in his first over. These two batsmen took the total to 58 for 1 at the end of the power play, but in the 12th over, Smith was out for 27, a wicket which brought List A debutant Kishan Villani to the crease. Both he and Wesley were finding the boundary all too often as far as their opponents were concerned, the 100 arriving in the 17th over. Essex were scoring at well above the required rate, and one of the reasons for that was Wesley, who eased to a fine 50 off 55 balls, an innings containing 6 fours. He's developed a lot as a batsman this summer, and he helped take the total here to 120 for 2 after 20 overs. In the 21st, Villani, on a runner ball 23, gave Clark a wicket in his first over with an LBW, but the all-rounder was unable to produce the kind of spell which took his side to the T20 finals day. Wesley was partly to blame for that. He played the innings of the day, not only scoring plenty of runs but also getting them at a very good rate. Only 79 more runs were required in 21 overs by the time that he was out for a 91 ball 84. Aaron Lilly was the man to get him, leaving it to Jesse Ryder to ease his side over the winning line in typical fashion. The hard-hitting Kiwi struck 7 fours in his half-century, which took him only 43 balls to achieve. He was the ideal man to have in the middle order to make the most of the excellent work of Wesley. He had ensured that this win was going to be a stroll in the park. Ryder celebrated his 50 by lifting White over the long leg boundary for a 6. before he finished off the game with his 9th 4 in White's next over, just the 39th of the innings. In the end, it was no more than a canter for Essex, who ended a run of 4 successive home defeats in white ball cricket. There were still 71 balls unused when the victory line was reached for the loss of 4 wickets, Ryder helping himself to 71, made of only 52 deliveries. The win gave Essex their 2nd victory from 3 on the road to Lords, while Lancashire have now lost 3 from 3 ahead of their next match in Derby on Thursday afternoon. Essex now have an important game with fellow high flyers Gloucestershire on Friday under the lights in Chelmsford.